you guys? It is Mary,
And Alma.
and today we are back with another review of Sister Wives, you guys. And this episode, of Sister Wives, was quite interesting. A lot of juicy things actually were said. We're just gonna go ahead and just get started with it from the top of the episode. Um, so Mary basically was talking to her friend. I cannot remember her name, but Mary was talking to her friend, and basically she did match
Jen.
with
Jen.
Jen. Yes, Jen. How could I forget Jen? Mary matched with Ron, who she says is a nice guy. She is going into the dating apps. Um, and a lot of the sister wives just were not like, I think Janelle was not a fan, neither was Christine. Well, Christine, I think Christine had dabbled a little bit in it, but she just said that it's kind
Didn't
of
you meet
hard.
David on Tinder? I thought she met David on Tinder.
No, it wasn't on Tinder. It was some
Oh,
dating.
okay.
It was some app. It was not no Tinder. Oh my god, it was not Tinder.
Okay.
But I think that Christine was
Mm,
kind of indifferent about it. I do believe Janelle, and Robyn just were just like, yeah, no. Robyn was like, how can you even meet anybody really on there? Which I agree. I've been on dating apps before, and it really is just a really long, tedious process, and you just go through a bunch of people who really aren't about nothing for real, for real. Um,
yeah.
Luckily, I met my spouse in college, but yeah. So that
Mm,
was quite
that's where
interesting.
a lot of people meet people anyway. A lot of people do meet people, their spouses in college.
Yeah, I really
That's
think
one place.
I think it's a great dating hub to find your potential partner. I would not
Yeah.
say Tinder or dating apps are, because a lot of times you just don't know, and with social media and people being crazy these days, you just never know who you can trust.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think I think Robyn and Kody, they did talk a little bit about his peacocking. Robyn does not seem super happy that she has to. It's giving me like the same vibes as like Janelle. When Janelle was like she has to get used to being affectionate with Kody. Robyn Robyn was talking about how she has to get used to flirting and being with him out in public and all this stuff. She said she really had no intention of ever him being just for her, and now she's in this space where it's like she's having to get used to him flirting. So she said he will flirt and be doing his peacocking and now just ignore him, and the only time that I really will give him attention basically is when he's not doing that. And Kody had made some statement talking about, the day that she just slaps my ass in public will be the day that I know she's really comfortable with me. I'm like, I
Well, what I
almost
got from that,
almost choked on my
yeah,
soda.
what I got from that is that the day she hit him on the behind will be the day that he knows that she's into him. That's what I got from that. I think Kody is really missing Janelle. When Kody and Janelle were together, I just had, cause Janelle kind of reminded me of myself a little bit. When Kody and Janelle were together, I just knew, and I told you, you weren't going for it, except when they said in the tell-all that they have been jumping each other's bones. But I could tell that Janelle was into Kody and he was into her. I could tell that the whole while. And I told you about that. I was like, I bet these ones are getting it on. But Robyn, the difference between Janelle and Robyn, I never felt that Robyn was into Kody. It's very subtle, but when he reaches over to kiss her, I remember when he grabbed her and was telling her she was too cute to cook and clean. Go back and watch that episode. It's very slight, it's subtle, but she kind of moves away. Like after he kisses her, she kind of, there's a little recoil that she does. She's not even aware of it at this point, you know? Like she tries to kind of stay put, but it's like she cannot help herself. So now that the wives are not there, and that could be why she wanted to have be in polygamy. Now that the wives are not there, it's like now I'm kind of stuck with this guy who, and he kind of serves Kody right. I'm kind of stuck with this guy who his whole attention is on me, right? He all his physical needs are on me and me alone. And I don't even feel him that way. Now that her financial needs have been met and then some, okay, it's like you sit around and you look around and you think, was it worth it? Because money is just money. Like you always have, you can always get money. But to have someone who's really into you, loves you, that's like free will. That's like attraction. You can't buy that. Like you can buy someone to do stuff to you and whatever, but for them to really want to be with you, like, you know, so now Kody got to deal with somebody who's not really into him. And Kody cannot help himself. He really told on himself. Just saying that. I
Yeah.
mean, I wonder if later on Robyn is upset about that. Like, don't be talking about our relationship. Now that the wives are gone, he doesn't have to. Before he was like in this protective mode. I can't say certain things about our relationship, but I was stunned as to the amount of stuff he revealed.
Yeah. It was quite a bit, like, even from his conversation that especially the conversation that he had with his, brother, which there were some things that I am gonna, like, break down, in
Right.
the week. But, like, I do wanna, it was a lot of things because he even said that he does feel like at some point with his wives, like, obviously, Robyn I do wanna make this point, though, first. I know I'm all over the place. But I do think that the fact that Robyn is not 110% interested in him does keep him, I guess, interested in on his toes because she's not like all over him. Like I do
No,
know
it
that
makes him desperate. It makes him desperate because now he doesn't have the other wives to focus on, and he doesn't have the other wives to kind of like pander to him. Like if he was feeling a little like Robyn like gave him the cold shoulder, even a little bit of whatever, he can always go to Mary, and she was always there, very loyal to a fault. Or he can always go get some really good juicy, from Janelle, right? And get some good food from Christine. But now those wives are not there. And so the
yeah,
more she kind of recoils from him or is not into it, it's like he becomes more desperate for her attention. Hence the quote unquote peacocking, or, like making all these comments, like trying to embarrass her. Like she just seemed like so not bothered by it.
yeah,
She's just not into him.
yeah,
And it's sad, but oh well, you get what you get.
yeah. I do think that it probably is what keeps Kody intrigued all these years, because it's like it's not super easy for him. Because I did have a friend
Mhm,
who is still is currently married, and he has his wife
mhm.
basically. He said like what makes him keeps him interested in his wife is the fact that like basically she's not like all over him or like obsessed with him or whatever the case
Right.
may be. Because he was like, I think that he had women who were all over him basically all of his life or whatever. And the thing that kept him interested with his wife is that she wasn't really giving him the time of day at the beginning. And slowly he kind of grew on her and they had a friendship or whatever. And then it ended up,
Yeah,
they ended up getting married. And he's like, I like the fact that she keeps me on my toes and she's not like, all over me or obsessed with me. So he likes that chase,
yeah.
I feel. So I feel like that probably is the same thing with Kody per se. So I feel like that's
The-
it, but also I do feel like Robyn just is not into him at all.
And the
But
difference with that is the fact that okay, you can have someone who kind of is not all over you, like how Janelle was,
right.
right?
Yeah.
However, when they got together, it's passion, the stars are lighting up, and all of that. I doubt if the stars are lighting up.
But what about all that
Robyn. And
lingerie Robyn was buying though? You don't think it's passionate?
she was
No
she was
passion.
she was auditioning. She was auditioning and making sure doing the things that maybe she didn't know about Janelle. Janelle kept her stuff tightly to her chest. but she was auditioning for a role. So she's going above and beyond what maybe probably Christine or Mary were doing. Because, like I said, Janelle, she's not going to reveal what she was doing, but obviously they were lighting it up.
Right.
So that's what she was doing. But now those wives are not here. Like, she ain't got to do that anymore. She has gotten all the stuff that she needs to get.
Right.
Okay. And even if Kody decides tomorrow to divorce her, she's the legal wife. She can, she'll be fine. She can walk away and finally probably find someone who she really is into physically
Yeah.
or just emotionally, you know? So
Yeah.
maybe she's just not into Kody. I just always got the feeling you and I said so from the very beginning of this relationship that
Yeah.
Robyn is not into Kody the
Yeah.
way he's into her. It's different from you have a woman that's kind of stoic.
Right.
However, when we get together, it is passion.
Right.
That's different. That's probably what's happening with your friend.
Yeah.
But in this case, Cody's realizing, and that's why he's talking so much because he's realizing she's really not into me. That's what he's thinking. Is she into me? I don't feel like she is, and that's why he kind of gives that to me. Kind of, it sounded like an ultimatum in a very subtle way that I will know when she is really feeling me, when she like hits my you know what in public. Well, guess what? She will do that one day when if she decides, well, I still kind of need him to pay this mortgage and I kind of like this house for a little bit. But when the newness of the house, the big house and the opulent house or whatever he called it is over, she might just be like, you know something, I'm thinking to go be with someone else before I get too old to have somebody or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was serve him right. That was her. But I'm loving it. I am absolutely loving it. It serves him right. Now he knows how Christine felt
Yeah.
and Mary felt.
But we also have to talk about this one thing which it kind of like is teetering on the whole attraction thing, but it's more so with his wives this time. The wife sat down, well, Kody sat down with his brother. I think this is one of his youngest brothers. He sat down and he did talk about how, he feels like he feels like at some point his wives just weren't into him. He feels like at a certain age his wives just weren't into him, and that's why they maybe stopped listening to him or weren't loyal to him. Christine, I think Janelle talked about, she said the thing is with Kody is that he mismanaged his relationships because there are men who can do polygamy well, but he just
Mhm.
mismanaged his relationships. And that was
Yeah.
probably like one of the biggest failures for them in
Yeah.
terms of like the whole entire thing. And Christine also said that, with Kody, the thing is, she was like, some husbands are firemen and some husbands are architects. She said that Kody was a fireman. All he did was put out fires. Where I think Joe Darger, that man who was married
Yeah.
to two sisters, he was an architect
Yeah.
where he ran and planned and had his family working like a well-oiled machine, where Kody was just all
Yeah.
over the place. And I do feel like
Yeah.
women do admire a man who can lead, who can direct, and who also has a vision and a plan. You know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely. Absolutely.
especially in polygamy, like I don't feel like women, like, yes, we are organizer, yes, we are all these amazing things which really have a lot to do with organization and getting a family together and running a household and all that stuff, but like you don't want to have to do it so much to the point where it's like you're also doing the man's job, because that can be
Yeah.
exhausting. And Christine's thing was
Yeah.
that she had lost respect for Kody, because it's like, one, it's like you are getting so whipped, because I think Kody had made a comment in this episode where he's like, the wives couldn't handle me fighting for Robyn to be safely kept. The issue is that you mismanage your relationships, and like you got so
Right.
swept up by one woman, you couldn't, like, and Kody said this. He said that I was not able to be loyal, or I could not be dedicated to each individual wife. And Christy said that
Yeah.
basically was the issue, because when you're not standing up for us, if somebody disrespects you
Yeah.
or us, you're not standing up for us. Two, you're like letting this
Mhm.
woman come in and change everything. And it's like you are
Absolutely.
just like throwing your hands up at any fire. Like you're not even trying to put out fires
Yeah.
anymore. You're just like,
Yeah.
I'm done with this. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to
And-
be everything for this one woman. Like even him making that
yeah.
comment, the wives weren't okay with me like letting Robyn be safely kept, and there was a lot of jealousy when I got her in this house and all this stuff. It's like you did this
Right.
willingly because you didn't want to be with these women
Exactly.
anymore. Like
Exactly.
he wasn't
And to keep
equipped for
her,
polygamy.
yeah, well, you kept her. So that means you're keeping her away.
Yeah,
So you're not bringing her into this polygamous atmosphere and kind of bringing her in, helping her to assimilate into the family. You kept her, and that's what he did. But you didn't do that with the other wives. And, I know Christine calls him a fireman. He's kind of like a fire starter, too,
right,
because you're going. And the other reason why, they lose respect for him when he's such a gossipy ninny as well.
right,
So you go to each of these wives and you talk about the other one, like you're talking about under their dress to, the likes of Robyn. That is not okay at all. So, I see why they lost respect for him. But he himself, like he said so, like he's telling on himself, I kept Robyn. He kept her away, kept her kids away.
yeah, absolutely,
you know and even the when he made the prayer, as they were leaving the house, and he makes this prayer that, thank you for keeping this home, has been a haven from the outside world, like keeping these children inside, like sequestered inside this home, even when it wasn't COVID. Like, just, it's he did the same thing to Robyn, and Robyn does that to her children.
right,
And at some point, children are going to go away. They're going to go away from you. They're going to rebel.
yeah, yes, y'all.
So,
But yeah, that was
mm,
it for this episode, you guys. There are two more things I want to talk about with this episode, but we're almost at 20 minutes, so I want to go ahead and wrap this video up. But let us know what you guys thought about Robyn and Kody. Do you think that she's really attracted to him? Do you feel like Kody, I'm sure you guys all agree that Kody mismanaged his relationships, but do you agree with
yeah,
Christine in the fact that Kody is a fireman, or do you feel like he's just a fire starter? Like, let us know your
yeah.
thoughts down below in the comment section, and we will see you guys on the next video. Bye.